Hey guys, Blake here. Hey, have you ever wanted to carve a caricature bust out of a block of wood? Come with me in my shop as we go in here and pick out the perfect piece of wood, and let's see if we can set one of these busts up and go through the process. Come along. Once I pick out my block, I'll grab my speed square and go over and mark out my lines that I want to cut out on the bandsaw. This particular carving, I usually start with a 1.5 by 2 by 4 inch block. I cut it so that the grain is running up and down the piece to give the carving a little bit of strength. You look for a good clear piece that doesn't have a lot of knots and stuff in it. This seems to be a perfect piece of wood for a good carving, so we'll use it. When I carve these busts, I found that it's good to have a nice knife with a sharp edge and a long blade. That helps you get into areas like the neck area and around the ears, so that you can actually reach the area that you need to cut. It's sometimes difficult with a smaller blade, so pick out a few good knives. I believe the one I'm going to use today is this old Ron Wells knife that I bought when I very first started carving way back about 15 years ago. It still holds a great edge. Ron Wells, if you can find one of those knives, make sure you pick it up. I've got 2 of them, and they're probably some of my favorite knives that I've got in my collection. I picked up this process in a Dave Stetson class. If you ever get a chance to take some classes, it's real important to see how somebody else sets up carvings. Dave takes you through the process of actually drawing out the head, talking to you about head size and proportions and that kind of thing, but making sure that everything's symmetrical as well. So I'm going to take this block and I'm going to go ahead and remove some wood around the head, making sure that the areas where the ear blocks are going to be is symmetrical, and that you leave plenty of wood on the front for the nose and on the back for the back of the head. After you get everything symmetrical, use your knife blade as a measuring guide to set up where the bottom of the chin is going to be, and then remove that wood underneath the chin and down in the chest area so the head sticks out when you're turning it. Here you'll see that I'm preparing that area underneath the chin and the chest so that you can carve in a shirt later, and make sure that that head sticks away from the chest and is turned to the side. I try really hard to make sure that my work area stays clean. But anytime that you're carving a bust like this, you're going to build up a lot of chips on your table. Unfortunately, a lot of those chips end up in the floor like I'm doing right here. I just sweep them down the floor and then sweep them up in a pile later on and clean up my mess after the fact. Wood chips are one of those things you just have to accept when you're a wood carver. Hopefully for you, you have a spouse or somebody there that doesn't mind the mess because they know that you're having fun doing what you love to do. Once I have the wood set up for the head, the next thing I do is establish where the eye line is going to be and the nose line is going to be, and I carry those lines all the way around the side of the head where the ear block is going to be. You want to make sure that you do that on both sides so that the ear block lines up the same on both sides. You want those to be equal. Again, that's part of symmetry. At this point, you really have a block that you can carve any kind of bust into, whether it's a male that's bald or a male that has hair that's combed over on the side, or a female with a ponytail or long hair. You really have plenty enough wood there to set that up. Just utilize these blocks to go in and practice expression, carve different kinds of faces, turn the heads different direction. It's really beneficial to go in and use these blocks to develop your caricature carving style. If you want to learn how to carve different faces, I've also done a tutorial on how to carve Santa Clauses. Make sure you go and check that out. All the steps there are in my list of videos. You can see how I carved that Santa Claus from start to finish. So make sure you check those videos out, and I'll see you again here on YouTube.